All right, which one should we do next?
So, what one do you have the box on there?
We've got educating your expectations.
What does that mean?
We've got staying open in fear. How to read body language.
Body language, yeah.
Life changes and nervous system. Educating your expectation.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That it's gonna be sunny in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, right.
Attachment to that.
We came to Hawaii thinking we were going to be in the sun every day, right?
Yeah,
and
I
surfing.
did.
I thought we'd be on a beach, kind of on a surfboard, just, in the water, chilling out on the beach.
How, JoAnne,
you haven't?
No, I've been here maybe 8 days.
Yeah.
I had one amazing day of sun. What? Just one?
Yeah.
JoAnne, you've been here a month. How many days have you had?
Probably a handful.
Yeah.
It's been raining, I don't know. It's been raining steady for at least 8 or 10 days. And I don't mean it's Hawaii, it's a jungle, so it's not like pitter-patter. It's like...
We had a conversation yesterday with a local. It rained for 8 months straight. Did you guys think Hawaii was like that? I didn't.
That's not the picture I had in my head of Hawaii. I have pictures of dudes on surfboards, sandy beaches. Oh, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
There's no sandy beaches here. It's a volcanic rock on this side. They're big, like sharp, like black rocks. Not white sandy beaches on this side. So that was surprising.
All right, let's get into it.
So yeah, I had expectations that didn't kind of,
Yeah,
All
so
right, launch your intro.
I'm Steph, this is JoAnne, and we help people like you create a life you absolutely love. On today's conversation, we're talking all about educating your expectation. What does that even mean? Attachment, non-attachment? Is it going to rain in Hawaii? Did we think it was going to be sunny? That's what we're talking about today, so stay tuned, and we're going to share with you some juicy conversations about this topic. All right, so attachment, non-attachment, that's a big conversation we can have, and expectations, and what happens when we're attached to a certain outcome and it doesn't happen. I know for me, I moved from Vancouver Island to Halifax with the expectation that it was going to be temporary, that I was going to go there for 6 months and go home. What did that lead me to do was not make friendships, relationships. I thought I was just going to be there for, short term. What kind of attitude is that? 10 years later, I'm still in Halifax, and I certainly did not move back to the West Coast. So that's one example of having this expectation and have it not happen. Well, what does that lead to? For me, it was this ick feeling, this down, this unsatisfied. So maybe we can avoid that altogether if we don't have these attachments or expectations.
Well, I think, we're in Hawaii and coming to Hawaii and having these ideas in my head that I was going to be on a white sandy surf beach and Steph was going to be teaching me how to surf because we had these conversations before we left. So it's just really real to me here and now that it's been like pouring raining, flooding raining for pretty much the whole time I've been on this side of the island. So waking up every morning and hearing that rain, I also know that I have a choice then. I could stay in bed and pull the covers over my head and go, no, I wanted the white sandy beach. Or I could sort of say, oh, well, cool, what are we going to do today in the rain? What kind of opportunities does the rain provide? And that's actually how this video came about. We're like, oh, cool, let's create something. Let's, I think, Steph, didn't you say, what do you do in the rain? What do you like to do? Oh, you said, what do you like to do in the rain when you're home?
Yeah, what do you like to do in the rain? And, right, it's cozy, it's reading, it's writing. JoAnne and I sat down for hours the other morning and we started our books.
We just wrote.
Yeah, we started our books that, who knew? We both didn't know that we were going to be writing our books in the rain in Hawaii. Usually when I'm on tropical vacations, I'm outdoors all day. I'm not behind my computer. So that's been a cool thing that's come out of this, as well as this TV show we're creating. We've been wanting to do this in Halifax for months. Yeah. And what better time than in Hawaii in the rain?
In the rain. Oh, and it's just coming down now. It was raining lightly, and now it's just, I don't even know if you can hear it. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think, that's so cool. We recognize both that we had a choice. We could struggle against it, or we could look for the opportunities in it. But I think in my life, there's many times where I wanted things to go A, B, C, and when B didn't happen, I started to make a story about me. You know, it's hard to make a story about me when it's the weather, because I don't think I can control the weather. But say I wanted something to happen, like I wanted, you know, my workshop to roll out a certain way. And when like B didn't happen, I kind of made stories that I needed to work harder, I wasn't smart enough, I needed to learn more. And then I think a big shift came when I started realizing that it's not all about me. And no matter what's going on, that I can choose to accept it and embrace it and look for opportunities in it, or kind of struggle against it.
And listen to what we're actually believing and thinking, and I would be happy if the room was full. Remember that? Having these thoughts and what you're actually telling yourself. And
I think that idea, like, I was running a workshop and I was like, you know, Steph was coaching me, I'd be really happy if the room was full. And then I thought, well, could I be really happy if the room was full or not? And then what ended up happening was really cool. I had this number in my mind of people that were going to come, but the size of the room and the number of people that came, it was perfect. It was totally, we couldn't have fit another person in there.
And I heard along the journey, I'd be happy if I paid for the rental.
Right, which kind of limited me too, right? I kind of limited, I'd be happy if I just made enough money to cover my expenses. That was kind of a limiting belief, wasn't it?
So it's interesting to, there's a red cardinal. Beautiful.
Two
of them.
Two
So
bright
how
red cardinals.
How does this relate to you guys? Well, it's, you know, every day where we have these choices, we can either accept and embrace what's happening or push against it. And that push against it, I've been there. It's no fun. It's exhausting. And you have practice every day, an opportunity to choose. And that's what's happening here with this big, obvious example of downpour for our whole Hawaii trip. And as we run across travelers, it's fun to notice what they're doing with it. And it's this educating your expectations. And for me, it's to really, I'm a boundary girl, routines. I love habits. I know how money's coming in. And for me, it's having that structure, but also having that surprise element, that welcoming that it can come from a different direction. So for an example for you, if you run your business and you have your multiple revenue streams, you know how they're coming in. I love to always put in a what the fuck category, like just a surprise money category of random money that can come in, because, you know, you could maybe have how this money's coming in. Well, that's a little bit limiting because maybe something else cool is going to come. So I love to have that surprise category and that flexibility of how this might evolve, because, you know, you can float through life without structure, and to me that's kind of uneasy. I like to have a little bit of structure, but it's having that flexibility and that open mind to allow other things to come in, and that non-attachment to the end result of how you're going to get there. You know, decide your deepest desires, but how you're going to get there is the fun part, and to enjoy that process. So
I think when we expect things to go linearly a certain way, I think what you were just expressing, Steph, is there's a whole bunch more ways things could go, and that might even be better. But if you're really stuck on it not coming a certain way, it can be really limiting, right? In terms of there's way more potential out there. Things can happen on a dime, and you don't really know. So being open to seeing that possibility of revenue streams coming a different way, of enjoyment coming a different way, of, you know, I like to have this practice of when things don't work out the way I want them to, I sort of have this little mantra. I go, oh, that's cool. I wonder what else is going to happen. Like I keep myself shifted towards, well, that's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen now. So it's been a practice for me to unravel making meaning about myself, and, you know, I did something wrong, to kind of shifting towards, what if something better is going to happen? Like, what if I don't know all of the ways this is going to unfold, and more towards like excited anticipation rather than disappointment. Yeah.
And I find it very beneficial to actually think of the reality, because we get caught up in these stories, and we can share JoAnne's yoga business, right? If you have this story of it's not making a certain amount, but then we think about the actual, well, what about the Airbnb money? What about these other ways? And it's easy to get stuck in this idea or this story that we've created, and then when really it's not even the reality. So I love writing down and making it real of what, when we get stuck in a stressful financial stress, write it down. Get the reality on paper, because often the reality, you prove to yourself that you actually have been able to pay your bills, and more money is actually coming in than you've thought, right?
You're probably in a better place than you think you are.
Yeah.
You know? And just allowing yourself to be open to that's kind of cool. Just seeing that, you know. So, and, you know, really back to, there's lots of times that you can't control the situation, no matter how hard we want it. It's raining today, and it's raining today. So, might as well choose it.
And it's always, you know, those worry thoughts, we all get stuck in them. Myself, I'm very guilty of the worry thought, but we know that if we worry about it and then it actually happens, you're going through it twice, and, you know, what's the point of that? That seems kind of silly. So that worry thought, I know when I get into the worry thought, I prove myself what has been your reality in the past, and it kind of I do anything I need to do to feel good to get out of that worry vibration.
Yeah, that's cool. You can have fun anywhere, and it's really about maybe a little shift in perspective, really, and asking the right question, like, how can we have fun in the rain? What could we create? So no matter, I guess, where you are or what you do, you can ask a question of, how can I enjoy this a little more? What's kind of okay about this situation, or what are possibilities? You know, pretty cool questions, and it's really just helping you a little shift in perspective about how things happen.
And having your feel-good list, just to wrap up this conversation, is when sometimes we are vibing so low that we don't know what to do. So having a go-to list, or someone that you call that you know is your feel-good place. So it doesn't mean as a robot going to yoga, because that's not what it's about. It's knowing a plethora of things that make you feel good, and you get to choose in that moment, what do you feel like doing right now? What do you love doing in the rain? What do you love? What makes you feel good? So that would be a little action step that you can do if you're not feeling great, or the next time you find yourself in Hawaii and it's raining for 10 days and you came from Canada and you wanted an expected sun and beautiful glowing suntan at the end of your vacation. So.
Oh yeah, could I share this? My daughter, who's a little younger than Steph, I texted her and said, it's raining like hell here, like just downpouring, and I think my daughter said, well, yeah, what's the temperature? Are you in shorts and flip-flops? And I said, yeah. She said, then it's raining like heaven, Mom. So she kind of, you know, challenged me, put me right back there. Situation's not that bad. I was still in flip-flops and shorts. And if I wanted to, I could go and dance in the rain because it's that warm.
Or we could get on a plane and go to Maui or a different island, right?
Now you're talking.
And now we're talking, and then we're choosing to stay here and see the beauty instead of jumping on a plane. So instead of running away to what we expected Hawaii to be. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can find more of JoAnne at Mind Body Solutions on Facebook, private community to connect your mind and body and work through the pain and get to this beautiful way of living, connecting the mind and the body. You can go ahead.
Oh, you can find Steph at
Work Smarter, Not Harder. Free community group for health coaches and business owners that want to flow with their business and automate and create leverage systems and go to Hawaii and meditate and make money in your sleep. That's what we do over there. In the rain. So check out the links below. Come join us for free in our communities for more free trainings and to stay supported on your journey, because that's what we do. We help people like you create a life that you love.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.